What you're looking at right now is a photograph of an animal that no longer exists anywhere on Earth. Not in the wild, not in a zoo, not anywhere. This animal's gone forever, and the person behind that camera had no idea what they were holding. In the photos you are about to see, these animals were alive. Some of them were looking directly into the lens, and within years, sometimes within months, every single one of them was gone. 7 animals, 7 final photos. Some of these were only discovered in 2025, and one of them, the last one on this list, was officially declared extinct in 2025. There is a very good chance you have never heard of it. Stay until the end, because that one changes how you look at everything else. Number 7, and we are starting with a name most people recognize, the Thylacine, also called the Tasmanian Tiger, though it was actually a marsupial, more closely related to a kangaroo than any tiger. This animal had the striped back of a tiger, the stiff tail of a kangaroo, and a jaw that could open almost 90 degrees. It looked like something out of a fever dream. The photograph you are seeing right now, taken at the Beaumaris Zoo in Hobart, Tasmania in 1933, is one of the last confirmed photos of a living thylacine. This individual was the last of its entire species on Earth. And here's the part that should genuinely disturb you. The zoo staff locked it outside on the night of September 7, 1936. There was a cold snap, no shelter, no one checked on it. It died of exposure, alone, in a cage. The last of its kind, dead not from a hunter's bullet, but from pure neglect. The Tasmanian government had been paying bounties to kill these animals for decades, convinced they were a threat to sheep farms. By the time they received legal protection, there were none left to protect. The last wild thylacine was shot in 1930. Scientists photographed it next to the farmer who killed it, like a trophy. Today, Australian scientists are actively attempting to bring the thylacine back using preserved DNA. Whether they succeed is a conversation for another video. Number 6. Nothing prepared scientists for how fast this one would fall. This bird was once the most numerous bird on the entire planet, the passenger pigeon. In the 1800s, flocks of passenger pigeons were so enormous, literally billions of birds, that when they flew overhead, they would block out the sun for hours. John James Audubon wrote that their flocks darkened the sky like an eclipse, and then within a single human lifetime, they were gone. Every single one. Her name was Martha. She was the last passenger pigeon alive on Earth. She died on September 1st, 1914, at the Cincinnati Zoo. She was approximately 29 years old. This photo, taken just 2 years before her death, shows a bird that had no idea she was the entire future of her species. When she died, zookeepers packed her body in 300 pounds of ice and shipped her to the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C., where she was preserved. She is still there today. You can go see her. The cause of extinction was us. Commercial hunting so aggressive that hunters would fire cannons into the flocks. Millions killed per day. Forest habitat destroyed. In less than 50 years, we took a species that numbered in the billions and erased it completely. Number 5. This next name became famous for one reason only. He was the last. His name was Lonesome George. He was a Pinta Island tortoise, found on Pinta Island in the Galapagos. Scientists discovered him in 1972, believing his species was already extinct. Finding George alive was described as a miracle. For decades, conservationists tried desperately to find him a mate. Female tortoises from related species were introduced to his enclosure. Eggs were laid, none survived. George lived alone in his enclosure at the Charles Darwin Research Station until June 24, 2012, when his caretaker found him dead on the floor. He was estimated to be over 100 years old. When he died, an entire species died with him. His preserved body is now on display at the American Museum of Natural History in New York. And in 2019, in a twist that almost sounds too strange to be real, a female Fernandina Island tortoise was found on a nearby island, alive. Scientists believe she may be the last of another related species. They named her Fern. She is still alive today. But scientists have still not confirmed whether she is truly the last of her kind, or whether there are others hiding in places no one has looked yet. That question has no answer. Not yet. Number 4. This one is the hardest to sit with, because it happened in real time, in front of people who were watching. His name was Tuffy. He was a Rab's fringe-limbed tree frog, and his species was not even known to science until 2005. Researchers found him in the cloud forests of Panama that same year during an emergency mission to rescue amphibians from a devastating fungal disease called Chytridia mycosis, which was spreading through jungles and wiping out entire frog populations overnight. Tuffy was flown to Atlanta Botanical Garden. More frogs of his species were eventually found or heard calling in the wild. The species was officially named in 2008. By 2012, the wild population had gone silent. No more calls, no more sightings, and one by one, the captive frogs died too, until Tuffy was the only one left. For years, he sat alone in his glass enclosure at the Atlanta Botanical Garden, the last rabs-fringe-limbed tree frog on Earth. On September 26, 2016, he died. His species was discovered and went extinct within the same decade. National Geographic photographer Joel Sartori captured one of the last photos ever taken of Tuffy, part of his PhotoArk project which documents endangered animals before it is too late. That photograph is one of the most quietly devastating images in conservation history. Number 3. Look at this photograph carefully before I tell you what you're seeing. This is Sudan. He was the last male northern white rhinoceros alive on Earth. And those men standing beside him with rifles? They are not hunters. They are his bodyguards. Sudan was so valuable, so irreplaceable, that he had a 24-hour armed guard protecting him from poachers. The armed guard was not even about money. It was about the fact that poachers had already killed the rest of his species for their horns. Horns that are worth more per pound than gold on the black market. Sudan died on March 19, 2018, at the age of 45. The northern white rhino now has 2 living members remaining, his daughter Najine and granddaughter Fatu, both living at Olpejeta Conservancy in Kenya. Neither can carry a pregnancy naturally. Scientists are currently using preserved sperm and IVF technology in a desperate attempt to save the subspecies. As of now, it remains functionally extinct. When we have to assign armed guards to protect an animal from ourselves, what does that say about us? We are still 2 entries away from the one declared extinct in 2025. The one I told you about at the start. Number 2. Most people have never heard this name, the slender-billed curlew. It was a migratory shorebird, once traveling in vast flocks between its breeding grounds in Siberia and its wintering grounds across Europe and North Africa. The last confirmed photograph of a living slender-billed curlew was taken in Morocco in 1995, 30 years ago. For 3 decades, scientists held out hope. Survey teams searched the Siberian wetlands where it once bred. Ornithologists staked out every migration route it was known to use. Silence. In late 2024, after one of the most exhaustive international searches in modern ornithology, the IUCN officially declared the slender-billed curlew extinct, making it the first bird species to go extinct on mainland Europe in modern times. It was not hunted to extinction. It was not the victim of a single catastrophic event. It died from the slow destruction of its wetland habitats across 3 continents. Drainage for agriculture, development, neglect. A species that once connected Siberia, Europe, and Africa. Gone, because the world it needed to survive no longer existed. And number 1, the one I told you about at the start, officially declared extinct in 2025. In 2025, the IUCN Red List confirmed the extinction of the Galapagos damselfish. This small reef fish lived in one of the most famous, most protected marine ecosystems on Earth, the Galapagos Islands, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It still went extinct. Marine biologists had been warning about its decline for years. Rising ocean temperatures from climate change degraded the coral reef habitat it depended on. The 1997 to 1998 El Niño event caused mass coral bleaching in the Galapagos, and the damselfish never recovered. The last research photographs of this species now represent the only visual record that it ever existed. Even in the most protected ocean waters on the planet, a species vanished in our lifetime because the water got too warm. The Galapagos damselfish is not an ending, it is a preview. Marine biologists warn that dozens of reef-dependent species are tracking the same trajectory right now. The photographs being taken of them today, some of those are the last ones. We just don't know which ones yet. There is a word for the last individual of a species. An endling, the Thylacine, Martha, Lonesome George, Tuffy, Sudan, the curlew, the damselfish. Every single endling died surrounded by a world that had already moved on without them. These were not prehistoric animals. These were animals that lived within human memory. Some of them died while people were watching, while cameras were rolling, while scientists were taking notes, and still they went. The question is not how we lost these animals. The question is, which photographs being taken today are the last ones?